Hi guys, before we start the episode, we're going to tell you all about Patreon. If you love the podcast and want to support us, then sign up to Patreon for as little as £3 a month. You get to come into our living room, like our actual living room, where we chill and get high.
It's like an extra hour a week, innit?
Watch us get chonged on the couch.
Yeah, we've got some extras for the other tiers. You can get a members-only club card, mild high club prints, discounts on merch, and probably some other stuff in the future as well, innit?
Yep, lots of goodies.
But if you sign up, you'll be helping us out loads. There's £3, £5, £10 tiers.
It's really good.
So if you love the podcast and you want more from the podcast, go sign up today. Patreon.com/the Mild High Club.
And the more patrons we have, the sooner we can take over the world.
Always about taking over the world.
There's so many things I want to do, and we need your help to do them.
Go sign up now. Nice one.
Love ya.
Hey everyone, before we go into this week's episode, I want to tell you about a new sponsor we've got, Munchterm.co.uk. Munchterm is the UK's #1 smoke shop. So you want to hit up them for any and all your smoking paraphernalia. They've got skins, grinders, blunt wraps. They sell CBD flour. They've got all sorts. There's pink ones. There's raws, all sorts of stuff. Lighters. Anything you need to get high.
Grinders, Blazy Susans, rolling trays.
Them as well.
Filters.
And them. We've got a little promo code. It's Mild High UK. If you use that, you get £2 off your order. You can either use that code or use our link that's in the description. It's munchterm.co.uk. Go there, buy some stuff, get high, support the podcast, enjoy the rest of the show. Love yous. Munchterm. We're off.
Hey,
Quick
it's episode
start.
50.
Hey, Mike Yanek.
Mike
Big
Yanek.
5-0.
Hey.
Here he is.
Mikey boy in the building.
Well, I say how are we all, but we've all been in the car together for about 2 hours. Tom's back.
He's
back.
What up?
The condiment himself.
Not hungover this time.
Tommy K.
Bit more together.
Bit rough on the car on the way home last time.
You had to stop, didn't you?
I was like, you all right, lad? Do you want me to stop? You're like, nah, I'll be all right. And about 10 minutes, I said, Dean, lad, you stop the car there, please.
Yeah.
Hail.
Just stopped in some random little estate. You're just like, fucking hell, lad. It's chilling here.
Yeah, we're here with the Bulgarian menace.
Yeah.
I'm from all over the place.
Not Romania, though.
Yeah, so Dean thought that I'm from Romania.
Yeah.
Where did you think I'm from the first time you saw me?
Bulgaria.
No, come on.
Yeah, I said, didn't I?
She did actually say.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
How did you?
Improv.
God damn it.
I don't know. Just
that way.
Yeah.
Over there
Eastern
somewhere.
European.
Yeah.
But when you hear my accent, where do you think I'm from?
Literally, I don't know. Over there, you're all the same to me.
Starting off with the racism. I love it. Let's go.
Say about the Chinese. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Asians. Yeah. No, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I literally don't even know where Bulgaria is.
You know what the thing is? It's kind of nice because when I come here and when I just say Bulgaria and people, because they don't know anything about it, they don't know if they should hate me, they don't know if there's any stereotypes.
Yeah.
Because if I told you, for instance, I'm Russian or if I'm American, Spanish or Italian, straight away there is at least a few stereotypes in your head.
Yeah.
With Bulgaria, everybody's like,
yeah.
okay, good, we'll give you a chance.
Seems like a nice guy.
Tell us something about Bulgaria then.
So Bulgaria, it's, you know what the thing is, we were talking about it in the car. I haven't been there for such a long time. I've been here 10 years.
Yeah.
So I've been there only 3 times in the last 10 years.
Oh, really?
And I kind of forgot how Bulgaria operates. And we were talking about just being polite. People are very polite over here. And I'm very polite now because I didn't used to be.
Yeah.
And when I was back there in 2018, I went with my dad to do some shopping in like a supermarket, superstore. We have them there as well, ladies and gentlemen, not only the UK. And I remember, because I'm trying to be a gentleman, and there was a woman before us, and I was like, I stepped back, and I was like, oh, ladies first. And I just did this, and she was like, weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was just like,
Yeah.
and then my dad kind of laughed, and he was like, oh, you haven't been around these parts for a long time, and
Yeah.
and it's just like the difference, you know what I mean?
What? Okay,
Mad,
that's mad.
So was you quite like not rude, but like not as polite as you are now. Like when you first got here.
Oh mate, I used to be a gangster. I used to be with a shaved head. no, really shaved head. I used to be deep into hardcore rap music.
Right. Okay.
So I had like the baggy clothes. I still had chains. I'm still keeping the chain. Just representing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to be. Just because it's a different culture, like masculinity, and be like, hey, what's up, bro? Like that type of stuff.
So I mean, I imagine it's a hard place then. So. Did you do child labor and that?
Oh, okay. So we're getting into it. Okay, I'll tell you about the stories. Yeah. So, it is a hard place. But the thing is, it's such a different place because it used to be communist until 1989. So then when communism fell, it was technically democracy, but anything goes.
You were born in 89, was you?
Yeah.
It was technically, you ended communism. You come out and no more now.
He's here. The Messiah is here.
Man.
Capitalism. Hell yeah, bro. Pokemon cards and money. You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't like that? There was no Pokemon cards in communist Bulgaria. So what used to happen is my grandparents, they live in a small town near the Greek border called Ruduzem, and it's ore mines. It's a mining town.
Right,
so all the people in the 90s, they just used to work there. And I used to go there for the summer because it's very nice and, it's in the mountains. So what used to happen was my grandma, she couldn't always babysit me. So sometimes she used to take me with her to the mine because she used to work in the mine. She was a dispatcher. The only woman, by the way, who worked in the mines, she was, is it called dispatcher? The person who says you have to go there. There is a thing you have to check and all that type of stuff. Yeah. And I used to just go with her and work sometimes late shifts. So I used to do a late shift when I was.
At what age?
So it was technically 6, but let's say 7 because it's a little bit.
That's the legal age you're working over there, innit? Just in case any Bulgarian officials are watching, it was 7 years old legally.
And 7 years old, he's man already. He has to provide, have a family, go and work. So let's say 7, but it was 6, but let's say 7. Let's not get this podcast in trouble with Bulgarian authorities. So what I used to do is, and she had like a big office, and there was like a little space where all people had breaks. So I used to have my little broom. So I used to swipe. And they used to give me like a tiny broom for me because I was very small. So I used to swipe. There was like a TV. I used to go and just change the channels because there was no remotes back in the day.
Right.
So when everybody has like a lunch break or whatever, they was like, hey, little Michael, go and, play channel number 4 because there are like 5 channels. And I go and I just do this. And I change the channel. And in her office, she used to have all these folders. So I used to do the folders. So you had to put them around. And they couldn't pay me. Legally, So
you just next year though, when you were 7 on the payroll.
Officially on the payroll, make the money. But the boss, he really liked me, and I was like the little mascot. Every time I was there, they were like, "Oh my God, little Michael's here!" They all love me. And they said, "What we're going to do is we're going to give you vouchers for food." Because they had a cafeteria. So I literally worked for food. Like in the movies, there's a guy with a sign, "We'll work for food." Well, I worked for food when I was 7, Britain. What's up? You know what I'm saying?
I just think, do you know the way everyone's buying them cardboard cutouts of Hasbulla? I can just imagine there's still in that mind little cardboard cutouts of little Michael, just like, hey, we love this guy, little mascot.
And I used to play right in front, so in front of the office, and you can see how they call the wagons with the ore, like, let's say where is KEEGAN, and I'm here and I'm playing with little rocks and stuff, and there's like miners and there's like the ore, and the mine tunnel is right there. Completely, like health and safety has a meltdown. Like if somebody's listening to this, health and safety wise, they're probably like, "What is happening? We need to close down that country."
I was a bit underwhelmed. I imagine you were like soot on your face, like one of them yellow hats with a torch.
Like a Rammstein video, like a Rammstein video.
There's just loads of Bulgarian fellas and then just Mike with like a little pickaxe behind them.
Like one of them the scenes where they're all like carrying like a steel girder or something, and Mike's just his legs, so he's just holding on with all that type of shit.
Yanek, it says here how Mike's parents met. How did your parents meet?
Oh, okay. So we're going straight from one story next to the other.
We've got to, we're just flying through all these, mate.
No worries, ladies and gentlemen. 100 miles an hour, let's go. So my parents, my mom, she was 19 when she got pregnant. Okay. Right. So my mom,
grandmother age in Liverpool.
Grandparents, So my mom was the only woman that we had a massive factory in our city. There were, I don't know how is that called in English, when you have a tiny piece of metal and you have a big machine that you need to polish and just create in a different like
We
little.
we don't have them jobs in England anymore. We outsource all that.
Just say the Bulgarian word for it because we haven't got one.
Schweifig.
Yeah.
Which is a complicated word. So this is what you do. It's just a little bzz, bzz, like a big machine. She was the only woman.
Like a sander, like some sort of
Sander,
sander.
of like metal pieces and stuff. It was a massive factory, and it was maybe like 2,000 people. She was the only woman there at age 18, by the way, right?
Yeah.
My dad was working there as well, and they're having this massive like Christmas party or something like that, banquet, you know, and he has seen her before because she's the only woman, you know what I mean? Like obviously she stands
Everyone's
out.
seen her, and they're like, hey, look at her. Yeah.
And on the Christmas party, she is sitting here, and let's say like he's like next to her, kinda, you know what I mean? And he was like, "Hey, you want to switch places?" Because his mate was next to him. Like, "You want to switch places? I want to talk to this hot woman," you know? So he switched places, and they start talking. And my mom, they literally talk for like 5 minutes, and she was like, "How old are you?" She asks my dad, and he was like 20. He was like 25 maybe. She was like, "Oh, that's an age because that's during communism still. Oh, at that age you have to be married, you know." And my dad, without missing a beat, looked at her, a woman that he met 5 minutes ago. He was like, "You want to get married?"
Yeah.
My mom was like, "Yeah."
Is it really?
Yeah.
No,
That's amazing.
That's the honest truth. And she was like, "Yeah." And then they was like, "Okay, we're getting married, right?" They haven't even kissed. They haven't nothing. They talked for 5 minutes.
Do you know what? That's how my mum got married as well, in a pub. She met a man in a pub, and they was like, "Do you want to get married?" And then she come home and was like, "We're moving to Ireland." And then they got married.
Well, that's one way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much
Super
same
right
story,
there.
yeah. And then they went to my mom's, to my mom's mom, you know, my grandmother who lived in the big city. And then they say, "Oh, by the way, so I'm packing my bags." And she was like, "Where you going?" She was like, "So there's the guy outside. I'm gonna marry him."
Yeah.
And we're going, you know, to that little town near the Greek border that I just told you with the mines, because his parents live there, my grandparents. And we're going there because we're getting married in a few weeks. And she was like, "Sorry, what?" And she was just like, "See ya."
Bye.
And he had a tiny shit car, by the way. He wasn't like a rich guy or anything.
Yeah. Must have been carrying some D.
He must have been a good-looking guy for it.
Yeah.
Just
agree.
go, yeah.
He was a handsome man. He is funny, but like I'm kind of like him. I'm just weird. I just say stupid shit and stuff. But and that's how they get married. And my mom got pregnant, I think, 4 months later. And
Quick,
No
works
time.
quick.
Yeah,
Mr.
it
Yanek,
works
I love
fast.
it.
yeah,
I
just
mean-
like this podcast. We're just moving,
Yeah.
bro. We're just moving.
At
And-
least your mum was 19. My mum was middle-aged and should have known better.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and I asked her one time, "Was I planned? Did you really wanted to have a kid?" And she was like, "Of course we did, honey." And then I did the math, and I was like, "Defo nah." Come on, 4
Yeah.
months after meeting somebody.
That
So
might have
this-
been the second date. She might have went, right, put one in me, put a kid in me.
yeah.
Crack on.
Well, that's
That's
romantic.
it. That's how my parents met. That's wild. If that was that show, How I Met Your Mother, that show would be one episode.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, mate, you got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Done.
So your
It
mum
is.
was the only woman at the steel factory,
Yeah.
and your nan was the only woman at the ore mining
yeah.
facility. Okay.
Brilliant. Mike,
You're the only Bulgarian in the Northwest comedy circuit.
Probably, yeah. I'm the only, yeah, I think so.
I'm going to ask
Seems
you
to
about your Uncle Ivan.
Uncle Ivan. Okay, again,
Uncle
we're going
Ivan.
back to that village, you know, in the mountains, Ruduzem, right?
Yeah.
So it used to be my granddad, my grandmother, and my Uncle Ivan. My Uncle Ivan is around 10 to 12 years older than me. I come from a massive family, by the way, so it's like so all over the place. And when my granddad, he didn't want to babysit me, he was like, "No, I don't like you. Get away from me." You know, he's like step granddad. You know,
Right.
So he was probably, "No, you're not bringing honor to this family. You know, what is this?" And my grandma, sometimes she was busy because you cannot take a 7-year-old. I do apologize, to the mines every single day. You know what I mean? It starts to get suspicious. So sometimes my uncle, you know, babysits me. But my uncle was around 19, 18 at that time. And all he wants to do is listen to Metallica. He had long hair.
Yeah.
Listen to Metallica, you know, smoke ciggies inside the house, watch NBA and party with his mates. And I'm over
Sounds like
this.
a cool guy.
Yeah,
Like
He's
kind of
awesome,
guy,
right?
yeah.
He's awesome.
Because Bulgaria is hard. Did they listen to like hard music then? Like,
Metal,
is,
yeah.
is there no like fucking?
No scissor
There must
sisters.
be,
Yeah, Justin Bieber and
Bulgarian pop stars though.
There is, yeah. It's
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Chauga, which is
Okay.
pop folk, which is a very crazy. Like we can do a different episode, like
Pop folk.
pop. So it's pop, like pop music, and
Yeah.
you have folk, like
Folk,
folklore music.
Yeah.
It's combination, and it's just a lot of women with big fake tits and just like, you know, yeah,
Pop folk? We'll have to have a look at that.
It's kind
Yeah,
of
we
like
will, yeah.
80s music,
Yeah.
like disco 80s music, but a lot more sex appeal. You know,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, And
Not to be confused with Pop Smoke.
Yeah, of course.
oh yeah, wasn't that like a rapper or something? Yeah. So he was just like, I want to have fun with my friends, but this little shit, I have to look after him. So what he used to do is he used to take me with him on nights out.
Right.
And I'm a 6-7-year-old, right? On a night out with a 19-year-old. And he used to take me to the local, because there's a small, tiny town and there's only one discotheque. And he used to take me there. And that discotheque was called The Hole. That was the actual, The Hole. Yeah.
The hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hole,
Can you imagine Mike like that? He's like, I've just had a 9-hour shift in the mine. I could do it.
Yeah.
Little 6-year-old Mike.
Gasping for the bevy, mate. It's been a hard day on the mines, yeah.
Yeah, so he used to take me. The discotheque was located in the basement of the library. And we used to go there like every Friday. So I'm there, 6-7-year-old. They're blasting Metallica, like girls and guys. Everybody's partying. There's like some couples making out. Everybody's wearing, like denim jackets. Metallica's blasting them out there, second-hand smoke. And, because it was like a fog because it's inside and everybody smoked. Crazy. And I'm over there. I don't know what to do. I'm just in the corner like, what is happening?
Sounds sick.
Your lungs must be fucked.
Well, I don't smoke.
Yeah, but
don't have to.
Mining. And second-hand smoking.
Do you think he was like the canary? And they were like, if Mike dies, get out the mine.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you why I don't smoke. So there is a story my mom told me apparently when I was 2 years old or 1 year old, because my mom was so young. So she just like, I want to go and have a smoke or do something, and I'm just going to leave him for 15 minutes. And she told me, it was during the summer in my cousin's place, and when she came out, next to me there was an ashtray full of ciggy buds for some reason next to a 1-year-old. And when she came out 15 minutes later, I was like so happy. The buds were gone and my face was covered in ash. So she told me I ate the whole tray of ash of ciggy buds.
Yeah, that'll put you
Who
off
the hell
smoking
leaves a kid for 15 minutes when you're 1-year-old with ciggy buds? So that's why I don't smoke. No, I don't smoke, but like I had my fill when I was a kid.
I don't smoke, but I consume cigs.
Mike, what's Vietnamese Jesus?
Christo Nguyen, if you're watching this, my friend, I love you and I haven't heard from you in 10 years. So my best friend when I was growing up in Bulgaria was a Vietnamese boy.
Right.
So because of communism, we had a lot of Vietnamese refugees because, is it North or South Vietnam during the wars, they were communist.
Yeah.
And because no other countries wanted them, and we're like, we're communist brothers, we have a lot of Vietnamese people, they're great, we love them, right? And there's a lot of people who were born, like the mom or the dad is Vietnamese and the dad is Bulgarian. So one of my mates, he was half Vietnamese, half Bulgarian, right? I moved to a new school when I was in the 2nd grade because my parents got divorced, right? Who would have thought, right? That marriage will never last, innit? Such a love story, you know? If you want to do a Disney movie, Disney, go take the rights. I don't mind. I'm not even going to sue you. So I go there, the new class, and I'm super nervous. I don't know nobody. And I see this kid because we all kind of look like that, But he was so different.
Yeah.
And I see everybody making fun of him. You know how kids are. Kids are horrible. 2nd grade, and they're making fun of him. Ha ha ha. They do this to him. Like little. They pretend to be Romans and stuff like that. And I don't. No.
Wait, why?
Because the Romans crucified Jesus.
Yeah, but what's he got to do with Jesus?
Well, hold on. I'll tell you.
You get there.
So yeah. So I didn't know, and I was like, why does everybody laugh at him? And then in recess, everybody stood up and left. And I went to his desk. And when you have the notepad when you were a kid, you have a sticker and it says this notepads belong to so and so.
Yeah.
And I read his name. Now, I'll tell you the name and you'll be like, I don't get it. And then I'll explain in English and you'll get it. His name was Christo Nguyen. Nguyen is his surname, a very popular Vietnamese surname.
Yeah.
Christo is the short version of Christos.
Yeah.
And in Bulgarian, Isus Christos means Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right.
So he was literally, they used to call him Vietnamese Jesus.
Yeah.
And also they used to call him China guy, a guy from China. No, I'm not gonna say the word because things are moving so fast with the words. I don't even can I say?
Yeah.
You know the word I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Say it for me.
The racist word for Chinese people.
No. A man from China.
Chinaman.
Yeah, can we say that?
I've just said it. It's fine.
Okay, but
I mean,
dude.
you're not meant to, but we can.
Oh, you're not.
Okay. So we have a pass.
I know. That's why I was like,
No.
I was going.
No.
Yes, say it.
No. This is for the Patreon. You do the racist stuff on the Patreon.
yeah. Save all
Okay.
that,
Here for the public. No. PC here.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm
Sign up to
asking.
the Patreon if you want to say the M word.
2 hours of that.
Yeah.
Just no problem. I'll say it as well. No, joking. No, because I don't know. Things change so fast, you know. And in Bulgaria, we didn't have political correctness when I was growing up.
Have you got it yet?
I mean, I'm trying to.
Not
be
you,
nice.
Bulgaria, though.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I watched the show. I'm not joking. From 2020, like a late night comedy show, and I'm not exaggerating. They open with a black joke from the 70s.
I thought you were going to say like a blackface then.
Oh no!
Spinning the minds.
No, that's the Late Show. You know what I'm saying? That's the Late Show.
yeah.
Yeah. And they open with a black joke from the 70s, and I was like, wow. The audience cried laughing. They were like, ah!
What it is like the them countries where there's like a lot of struggle and it's tough. You haven't got time to be like, oh, you said something that offended me.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't care
you're just
about
like,
you because no
exactly.
one cares about me.
Offended.
So
Exactly, lad.
Exactly, lad.
And there was no diversity in the 90s, and I was growing up like, you know, there was no. I told you I had a mixed race, you know, friend. One of my best friends, Ozzy Osaze.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this, Ozzy, yes, man.
What mix was he?
So his dad was African and his mom was Bulgarian.
Right.
His dad, I think, was from the Congo, and I think he was like a student or something in the 90s, something like that. So he was one of my mates. I had Christo as well. I had quite a diverse group. But
What are you doing your bit? Doing your bit over there?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like when I came here, I met so many people, and I love it from all over the place. You know, my missus, she's Polish. I don't know if that counts as diverse, but kurva much. If anybody Polish people watching, yes, kurva much.
Beetroot soup. Do you like
Beetroot soup?
Bosh? Beetroot soup. Bosh? I don't know.
Bosh?
This is just noise now.
Sorry, Michael, you mentioned that kids would dress up as Romans.
Yeah, because the Romans crucified Jesus, because they made fun of him. They call him Vietnamese.
That's commitment. That is commitment.
Wow, that's
And
like
they did that to him.
high-end bullying.
They did that to him, you know.
Forget that. It's going, Mum, take me to Smith's.
Yeah.
And he's a Roman Legion costume. We got some Jesus Vietnamese kid in.
Yeah, so with him, he was Vietnamese Jesus, and they used to call him, you know, the China guy or whatever, even though he was Vietnamese, and he was a mate of mine. But everybody was making fun of him. And then when I saw the name, I was like, oh, okay, that's why, you know. Because it's Christos.
Yeah, that's funny, yeah. That's why you're saying it. I like Vietnamese Jesus.
Yeah, and he was one of my mates, you know, but I haven't seen him in a while. He went to the Bulgarian version of Britain Got Talent, you know, Bulgaria Got Talent, and I saw him. My mom sent me a video of him 5 years ago playing the guitar and singing, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
It was
good?
shite. It was shite. It was so bad. I was like, oh. He was so good in school, and I was like, you're not artistic. You're smart.
Yeah.
Don't try to do this, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a dropout. That's why I'm here, you know?
Yeah. Get a smart job, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to move on?
Yeah.
Because we got so many brilliant little
Yeah,
stories.
go on.
Yeah,
I
may
want
as
to
well.
hear. I want to hear closet Pokemon fan.
1990.
There we go.
Here we go, Pikachu. Let's go, Ash. Catch them all. 1999. Pokemon comes to Bulgaria. Pokemon comes to the UK, I suppose, right?
Yeah, it was around that time, yeah.
Swipes the country. You have Pokemania, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody's obsessed. The first 3 months, I'm late to trends because when a trend hits, I don't want to be the first on it because it's kind of like, it's mainstream. I want to be like, just whatever. 3 months in, everybody's talking about it, right? And I was like, okay, let's watch it. I wake up Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm hooked. The next 1 year, this is my life. I was mesmerized by the covers, by the voices, by the characters, everything, right? Problem is, 1999, I'm around 11 years old, which is the 5th grade. Now, with my friends, now if you're a geek, I'm 32. I'm a proud geek. I have Pokemon shit. I have like all the geek stuff. Everybody's like, yes, we love it. You know, you're celebrated. Back then, if you're in the 5th grade, everybody's like, that's for kids. Everybody makes fun of you.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I don't know about here, but in Bulgaria, you start to smoke ciggies. Maybe you're out there trying to make
You're
a
on
family.
your 5th job.
Yeah, you're on your 5th job, you know what I'm saying? Life is moving very fast in Bulgaria, like this podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're just out there grinding, you know? And I was so obsessed with it. But all my mates, they were like into, you know, Korn, Linkin Park. I like that stuff as well. But they were like, we're smoking ciggies. They have, you know, the spiked hair. They're dressing all black. I cannot
To be fair though, Ash Ketchup had fucking spiky hair and all that.
He did. Yeah. But it was veiled to be for like kids and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just like, damn. So what I was literally a closeted Pokemon fan because I started my sticker collection. I was like, there was like magazines. I couldn't afford the toys, so my grandma is a seamstress. So I literally gave her the designs, and she created Pokemon plushies for me.
No way. That's sick.
Yeah, big ones. And then I had small ones, and they were like these Pokeballs, and inside you have bubblegum or something.
Yeah.
So I take the bubblegum out, and I put the small plush inside,
Yeah.
and I have the hat. I had the whole uniform, dude. I play like the background music.
Fingerless gloves.
Oh, of course I had the gloves. I had like normal winter gloves, but I cut out green gloves, and I cut out, you know, the fingers. Everything, dude. I had the little vest, the little hat, everything. I created my own hat. And I'm just out there. No, literally, I play the Pokemon music. Gotta catch him! And I'm in my house, just clean out everything. And I was like, so-and-so, I choose you. And I throw the Pokeball to the wall, and it opens. And because it's plush, and the Pokemon comes out, and then I get another one. And then I go and play the other character. Now, you, Pikachu, you fight this one. And I'm there. I'm like 5th grade, and all my mates are outside, you know, like finger banging and stuff like that, smoking ciggies, doing squats and shit, you know. And I'm there. Pokemon, you know.
You were late on the Pokemon phase.
So what happened was I had we got a new vacuum, which is a big deal in my family, you know. And because we're like working class and stuff, real poverty, Britain. You don't even know how to do poverty in this country, God damn it, you know. And we don't throw nothing away, right? So they were like, we're gonna keep the box. But I took the box and I created my pocket box. So I had all my stuff in there. Yeah. And my mom bought me a t-shirt with all the Pokemons, and they were kind of like embossed, like little, like rubber, you know what I mean? It was very
it's like screen printed kind of.
Yeah. But the shirt was like baby blue, like super crazy color. And what I used to do is my cousin was the only one from our friends who kind of knew about the show, kind of liked it. Yeah. So we're all together and we're playing, and somebody, can you imagine these losers watching Pokemon, blah, blah, blah. Somebody talks shit, and I was like, yeah, of course, Pokemon is ridiculous. And then they go somewhere to the store or something, and I was like, Evie, her name is Evie, and I was like, Evie, did you watch the episode the other week? And I'm literally, did you see what happened with Ash? And I'm just talking with her, you know. And I used to wear the shirt underneath, like so much other shit. And I was like
Superman.
Like Superman, yeah.
Look at that. I have all that shit. But don't tell nobody. So I was literally like deep in the Pokemon closet, you know.
Did you used to fancy Nurse Jenny?
I liked Misty. I had a crush on Misty.
Yeah, Misty was a bit plain Jane for me.
Misty,
a bit plain Jane.
The nurse.
Nurse Jenny had the blue hair and shit like that. Yeah. Everywhere.
That's funny.
I was so into it, dude. Pokemon it was wild. I was so into it.
How old did you say?
I was around 11, so I was born 89.
So you was a child, though?
But
not in Bulgaria.
Not in Bulgaria.
Not in Bulgaria.
No,
second marriage.
I want kids.
His grandmother was a seamstress since she was like 3.
But when you're 11 and you're in the 5th grade, you're at that age where you're not a teenager, but you want to be a teenager. You want to be cool, and you want to... My mate smoked ciggies in the 5th grade. All of them smoked ciggies, and they were drinking and stuff. So you want to be cool. You want to be, you know, like wear the leather jacket and stuff. And it's like, come on.
And sorry, how old are you here?
11.
How old were you when you were doing henna tattoos on the beach?
17. Is that the next story?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about next.
Okay, 17. So, it's the summer of, oh my God, is it 2006?
What
2006.
beach?
So we have the Black Sea, which is, you know, a little bit, here we go, geography. Welcome back to Geography with Mike Yanek. So it's on the east coast is the Black Sea, and it was called Primorsko, which is a tiny, like little city or something on the seaside. Okay. And during the summer it's crazy busy, and then in the winter is nothing. It's just dead, you know. So one of my boyfriend, one of my mom's Freudian slip. I do apologize, Justina, my girlfriend. Well, you're gonna find out some stuff now. Patreon, we live for the Patreon. No, so one of my mom's boyfriends, he was a sketchy guy, you know. He was like a import-export businessman, you know what I'm saying? He was like one of those. He was like have a new business
a human
idea.
Trafficker? What?
I wouldn't be surprised.
He always goes to the very worst, doesn't she? She always goes to the very worst thing that could
possibly
happen.
Could have just been drugs or something.
Because when someone goes import-export...
Yeah, could have just been selling Rob stuff off the back of a van.
Well, that's, robbed humans.
He was a sketchy guy. He was like, I have this business where you can do the henna tattoos and actually make good money. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't have nothing to do in the summer. And the summer gets very hot in my city. And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go. What we did. So just to illustrate what type of a maniac my mom is, we lied to my school because the season and the summer started, like, we finish in May maybe, but we wanted to be there like late March. So we literally went to the school, me and my mom, and they said, we're going to Spain for he starting work or whatever. We have to be there. Yeah. She did this whole lie. My whole family went to the principal, and I got off school a month and a half earlier. Yeah. Like, my mom's awesome, you know what I mean? It's just like crazy. So I went there. We did the lie. I went there. And by the way, when I finished school, at the last day, I told them that I lied to them. I was like, I lied to you. Yes. No, I told them. And I was like, fuck you. I didn't go to my prom. I fucking hated my class. Yeah. And so we go there and we start doing the business. And it was just Henna tattoo, so much money, and there's so many tourists. They come over and, you know, they sit down, they have a catalog, and they're very basic designs, you know.
Did you have training or just stickman?
Yeah. So what it was, he was like, I want you to train for 2 months because you have a little, you know, those little shish kebab sticks or whatever, the wooden ones. You use one of those. Yeah. So it's actually, it takes like a little drop, and it's kind of, you know, you have to know what you're doing. Yeah. So what I used to do is, because I used to live with my granddad, my grandma, my granddad, I just covered him in Henna tattoos every single day for like
Pokemons.
Everything. Like, he looked like a prisoner. I did like a neck tattoo, like the back. He was like, mumble rapper, you know, like in the mid 2000s or whatever. Yeah. Let me just say, before I continue with this story, when we talk about rap, my grandma, the one that we used to live together, she is called Nedialka, but everybody calls her Nelly. Like the rapper. Yeah. And when 2004 came out, I used to be such a mischievous kid because I used to stay at home a lot and just pranks and stuff. Yeah. So when Nelly came out in 2004, I was a massive fan. Yeah. And what she used to do is she used to fall asleep on the couch all the time. So what I used to do is I used to play Nelly in the background, and I get one of those band-aids. You know, he used to have band-aids. So I play like, it's getting hot in here, so I had to take your clothes. And I put the band-aid on her. And she was like, what's happening? I was like, oh, you on concert again? Nelly, come on, you hit
just full Henna.
You need to hit the stage in 5 minutes, Nelly.
His granddad's covered head to toe in fucking Henna tattoos.
Got thug life on his stomach and that.
And his nan's got a do-rag on and a plaster. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, man. And she used to get so pissed off at me. Just like, get away from me. And I'm just having time of my life, you know? So you go there. There is literally one table. You sit down, you know, like few chairs. They come over. They have a massive catalog. They were quite expensive, you know. And the thing is, he was like, oh, listen, this week we couldn't find the henna, the proper henna from India because it is quite expensive. Yeah. We put some other stuff in there, don't worry. And I was like, well, hold on, it says supposed to stay 10 days. He was like, bro, you ask them how many days you're here on holiday. If they say less than a week, you use cheap one. If they say 2 weeks, you use expensive one. He was like, come on.
Them people have still got them tattoos today, haven't they?
Yeah, it's
like still just walking around
with a Bulbasaur on their arm.
Yeah, better come off that. What's going on here?
So what happened was, we used to have like those little, how they call those lady sticks that you put for Nivea or something? You know, those little roll-ons. Nivea, you don't have them here?
Nivea. Roll-on
deodorant. But they're like sticks. Yeah. So we used to use them. Put it on the
lady stick.
Well, how they called?
No, yeah, it's deodorant.
Yeah.
Deodorant.
But men
stick deodorant.
Yeah.
So the only way, so what you do is you get like very thin paper, I think rice paper.
Put
the
stencils
like
on you.
Yeah, and you take the marker, you put it on, you do the stencil, right? Then you take the stick, you put it on the skin. You put the stencil for a few seconds, you remove it, and then you have the actual, you know. And then you go and you just fill it in, you know. And I used to do like the back and the stuff, and there's like tourists everywhere. And, you know, just practicing my English and stuff. Okay, well, let's get a little bit spicy because I know you like the spice. And I lost my virginity that summer.
Hey! On the beach?
Yes,
it was not on the beach. It was with a Russian tourist. And until this day, I have no idea who she was. Don't know her name. I never saw her again. Because, you know, people say it was...
Sounds like you didn't lose your virginity, to be honest.
No, I did.
You wouldn't know her.
I was on holiday. She's rushing it. You wouldn't know her name. I didn't catch her name.
I was doing Henna on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, and but yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, I don't have the romantic story of the
how
first time.
How did it come about?
Like, well, so she came to do a tattoo on her lower back.
And you know she puts out for getting a tramp stamp. She puts out there.
And the thing is, because when they stay there for like 20 or 30 minutes or whatever, so you can just talk. And I was young, and I was very tan, all sexy and stuff. I had my hair done, just lie to her. I'm like Cuban or something like that, something exotic.
Cuban.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, Russians, they really love us because it's a very similar language. We use the same alphabet, so they come for summer always, and we're very friendly towards them. So Russian girls, they really like a bit like that complexion and stuff, you know. And that's it. Unfortunately,
I was gonna say I was so impressed by that because to me, approaching a Russian girl or trying to sleep Russian girl would be the most intimidating shit in the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just looking it up and down. She's like a dad's like an oligarch or something like that. Good on you. I could never.
She's in Bulgaria for a holiday, mate. She's not an oligarch. Trust me. They're poor, you know. Yeah. And but it was a fun time. I made a lot of money, you know. Yeah. And then we moved to another, you know, with my mom because they broke up. Believe it or not, you know, with her boyfriend. He was crazy, bro. He was literally chasing us and stuff. We run out of the house like a movie. She was like, okay, listen, so I'm gonna go inside. You pack all your bags. Because, you know, he was like mean and stuff. And he was crazy. He was getting drunk.
To be honest, your mum and my mum sound like they get on. Cause we ended up in the safe house.
My mum is 5'1".
My mum is smaller than me, so
here you
5
go.
foot.
They will be perfect. My mom will feel taller. So she'll be like, finally, I'm big now. Yeah, so she was like, listen, we're going to... I'm not gonna say his name. Maybe this psychopath's gonna see it one day. But like, you're gonna pack your bags. You're gonna wait outside. I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna say we're breaking up. And Uncle Lupo, and we can actually go to him now. He literally came with a car, and we just jump into the car. Yeah. He literally did like, you know, like the cars like that, like in the bush, like jump in. He opened, jump in. We jumped in, and we run away to to like a small town, and literally was 15 miles away from and we were there for like 2 months working more.
I can just picture you being like, don't worry, Mum, I got this. Bulbasaur, go! trying to ward them off with Pokemon.
You got the Pokemon reference.
It does say Uncle Lupo and then Menergy.
Here we go, Uncle Lupo, let's go. So my Uncle Lupo, he's such a character, bro. Like, if he is ever in the UK, I'll therefore have him on my podcast.
Yeah, get him on to do a 5 hot water or something.
So my girlfriend, she was like, because she knows about him, she was like, will I be able to, you know, speak with him? And I was like, he knows all the languages. He doesn't speak them, but he will find a way. Right. He mimics, he pulls out references, like he will find a way to communicate with you, you know? He is such a character. Now, until this day, we don't really know. We know some of the stuff he does business-wise.
Right.
Disclaimer, allegedly. Maybe he had some run-ins with the mafia in the 90s.
Maybe, yeah.
He has weapons in his house, like he has a pistol back in the day, not anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's never failed. I think we said too much now. Okay. Patreon.com, you know, just my Uncle Lupo, just like that. Send me a picture somewhere. Yeah. So... he is such a character, right? He has multiple business endeavors, right? One of them was a rice farm for a very long time, right? But the thing is, because with the rice farm, he has other people running it. So he's kind of bored, you know what I mean? Yeah. Has nothing to do. So one day, I am in the UK by this point, and he calls me, he was like, listen, I have the business. This business is great. You know Viagra? And I was like, I'm too young, uncle. I was 24. I don't need it, but I've heard of it. He was like, this is better. We use same as Viagra, but natural. And instead of a pill, it's a jam. And you spread it on toast.
Viagra jam. Love it.
Spread it on toast, you eat it, and you can perform. And I was like, okay, I'm listening. He was like, listen, I want from you, first of all, you test it. You tell me if it works.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. And then...
Dick's still hard today. Some strong spread.
No, I'll tell you a story about that. It's fucking wild, right? And then... you market in Britain. It's a big market. I've heard people very stressed, very depressed. They need problem with PP.
Jam.
Yeah, and I was like, good. I will sell jam. I'll sling jam for you. Now, I go back to Bulgaria.
Sling jam for you.
I just love the image of like a girl on the bed and you're like, oh, you wait. I'm gonna fucking... You're getting it.
You're getting it.
So I go back to Bulgaria. This is in like 2000, or maybe it was 2016, 17. I don't know. I go back to Bulgaria. At that point, I'm, you know, texting with a girl, kind of stuff like that, right? I go to Plovdiv first. And my uncle, when he sees me, I told him I have a girl lined up, you know, to test the product. He gave me a box, you know, a full box of it, right? And I was like, okay, thank you. Then I go to the seaside to meet her, and we're going to spend a few days at hers or whatever, right? I take this stuff, so it's one pouch. But in typical Eastern European fashion, I don't read instructions. You know, I just don't. It's just like, no, what is this? What is this? Right? I just don't read them. On the back, it says with massive letters, only take this if you have serious erectional dysfunction. If you don't need this, don't take it because this is wildly strong. Yeah. I don't read that, right? Yeah. So we're whatever, you know, getting ready and stuff. And I was like, oh, just give me a second. I need to go freshen up, you know, like we're at your place.
Whatever, spoonful of jam.
Not a spoon, the whole sachet. I took the whole sachet.
It's like a marathon runner.
Bro, I went to the bathroom, right? I took it out and it says, it takes 40 minutes to kick in or something like that. And I was like, okay, I need to do 40 minutes of like, you know, like, oh, you're so beautiful, you want this, foreplay, whatever the fuck, right? And I'm literally on the clock. I'm watching the clock, you know what I mean? Because I'm waiting to kick in. Yeah. It kicks in, we do whatever. I cannot finish, right? I cannot finish. 3 days later, my head is going to explode. Such a horrible headache. Horrible headache.
There's no blood left in there.
Dude, my dick is hard for 3 days straight. It wasn't. I thought I'm going to have a heart attack.
Jesus Christ.
I don't drink coffee or none of that, right? So I was just like, what the fuck's happening? And we fuck every single day for like an hour and a half, right? She's like, what the fuck's happening? You know, I'm trying to break the bed, you know what I'm saying? Just like crazy. Bro, we're listening to like, you know, we put like those mixes or whatever, like songs, or like hour and a half. We do like twice, 3 times. Like, what the fuck's happening? Right?
Is this the girl you with now?
No. This is my ex-girlfriend. No. Oh, Justina, you're the only woman for me. I love you forever. No other women. She's fictional. Russian, she's fictional as well. You're the only one. You're my first and only. Just in case, you know what I'm saying. She's gonna watch this. So yeah, and then, you know, stuff, I couldn't, right? And then we go back, stuff, and I go to visit my uncle. He was like, what happened? Give me the report. And I just slapped it on the table. I didn't use any...
This happened. Are you happy now, Lupo?
Pull out the gun. Shoot in it. It's not nothing. No, it's so strong. Look at it. No feeling in it.
Bulletproof.
Bullets are flexing off it.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew.
That's how he gets his catchphrase.
Yeah, man. So I just go and I was like, listen, I gave him the full box and I was like, it works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I used it for a bit for the first few months. She was very impressed. She was like, you're very good in bedroom. You can last forever. And I was like, don't worry about it. Then I turned around and I was like, Manergy, you know what I mean? That's the commercial.
Is that what it's called, Manergy?
Yeah, so because listen to this. Okay,
does it still exist, or did it cease to operate from?
No, he therefore has some left over.
Oh, that'll be some potent Manergy then from back in the day.
Fermented.
Fermented.
Yeah. If he still has, I'll probably say to him, send over, and I can show you on the podcast or something. But like
next week, I'm gonna be here.
Patreon. We'll do that on Patreon.
Yeah, do it on Patreon.
What happens if you have it as a girl?
Oh, it works as well for women as well. Yeah. Well, you get very wet and like I don't know, like you get very.
You gotta put it on that way though. This is
just put it in.
Like your butter in a balm.
You get very excited, and it was crazy. So I was like, yeah, it works. And then what was I talking about? I completely forgot now.
You going back to your uncle and telling him that it works and that.
Yeah, it completely works. Yeah, sorry, I remember. And I was like, oh, before that. So when he was on the phone, and I was like, do you have a name? He was like, I have the best name. And I was like, what is it? He was like, you know, energy. I was like, yeah. You know, man. Yeah, Manergy.
That is a great name.
It is a good name, to be fair, isn't it?
Now, I'm back in the UK. We know it works. He sends me a few boxes. He was like, you need to promote this product. British people need to learn about it. And I was like, all right then. He was like, what do you want me to do? I got the plan. You have corner stores. And I was like, yes. You go to corner store with box and you say this for your dick. And I was like, but don't you need some kind of like paperwork? I cannot just walk in. He was like, go to big supermarket, go to Asda, go to the cashier. Say, you want her dick?
Best episode of Dragon's Den. Would you like a taste of Dragons?
You want her dick, boy? Here you go. Boom. Put it on the counter.
Put it in the box on his dick. It's like Manergy.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then he was like, I'll call you in 2 days. I have an idea. He calls me in 2 days. He was like, listen, I did some research. There is a gay bar in Scotland called Manergy. True story. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. And I was like, really? He was like, yes. Listen, what you do is you drop them an email and you open with, hey, you're called Manergy. That's true. We're called Manergy. synergy. And I was like, what the I did legit drop them an email. Whatever he wrote, I just translated it. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. They did not come back to us. But I was like, and the packaging, he designed it. At first, it was horrendous. So it was like silver, like a pouch silver with green, black M and red, like a little stripe or whatever. It looked horrendous. And then finally they found, you know, like they paid somebody on Fiverr. And I was like, just do it properly. Come on, they did a website.
You gotta do it. Do it right.
Yeah,
What was in there? Is it secret family recipe?
No, so it's literally in Viagra you have Cialis and another. I heard it because all the podcasts they're sponsored by that stuff, so they always
dick
say
pills and all that. They're Blue Chew and shit like that in it.
So it's Cialis and another ingredient and some herbal stuff. And
does your uncle Lupo want to sponsor us?
If I'll ask him. Like,
I'll be blind in a few weeks, me.
Erection jam.
Bulgarian erection jam. Oh, but you know what the thing is? They got it in the pharmacies because he got with some actual business people, not his crazy ideas or whatever. They got a factory, they got it running, they got it in Romania and like Greece and the pharmacies in Bulgaria. But I don't know what happened. Maybe he just lost interest or something, you know? Yeah.
What an entrepreneur.
Ladies.
And gentlemen.
And in-betweens. It's time to up your vibrator game and get yourself a brand new vibrator. There's so many different things you can get these days. There's wands. They sell the Vush wand as seen in Cardi B's music video.
Ooh. Get yourself a WAP.
There is. Yeah. Listen, it's all about that self-care. And if you do one thing to look after yourself this Christmas or going forward into the new year, get yourself some more vibrators. Fellas, look after your ladies. You know how like made up she'd be to open like a brand new wand?
Maybe make sure she only opens it in front of herself though, and not any children around.
Not the kids. Honestly, it'll improve your sex life, it'll improve your mental health, it relieves stress, it's self-care, wank more. taylorstoys.co.uk and the code is TMHC10 for 10% off all your vibrator needs, or just your kinky stuff like bed restraints, cock rings, so much stuff to just spice up your life.
There's even stuff you can put in your dick if that's what you're after.
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't judge. There's a pair of breasts with a fanny in the middle. Go wild.
Whoa.
10% off that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Go there now.
Yeah. Taylor's Toys, TMHC10.
Good vibes only.
See you later.
Bye.
Did you mention before your friend Evie?
Yeah.
What's that about you teaching local kids?
All right.
Euro 3.
Okay. So, my cousin Evie. So she's like a sister to me because we grew up together. We're super close.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the daughter of Uncle Lupo. Yeah. And she lives 5 minutes away from our house. So we've been together our whole life. There was a video game called Heroes 3 Might and Magic.
Right.
Very popular in the 90s.
Mighty Magic.
Might and Magic.
Might and Magic.
Might and Magic. Heroes 3, yeah. If you ever played, it's like turn-based, like fantasy world, dragons and all that type of stuff. Kind of like Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones. It's amazing, right? It was so big and all the kids wanted to play it. But me and my cousins, because we are hustlers, you know what I mean? She's hustler as well. So what we did, because Uncle Lupo, he got really into it. And we have these video game rooms where you go and pay for an hour and you sit and play on the front of the computer. This was back in the day, before people can afford a computer in their house. So what we used to do is we sat down and he paid for a few hours. We played and we learned the game. And we started a school and teaching all the local kids for money how to play the game.
Right, yeah.
So we literally created like notebooks and we did like little drawings, and this hero has that much damage and you can use, this is way before like internet and all that stuff, you know, and you can use all that stuff and fight this creature with that creature. And we had a class every week on top of our garage. There was like a little space. That's and all amazing. The kids sitting there taking notes and we're charging them money. And then what we used to do is we used to do little school plays as well on top of the garage. So we had practice, you know, every single day.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on, how's it called, that Broadway or something in New York. She was so strict. You need to be here on time. You need to this. We had costumes. We had sketches. We had a sketch where we pretend to be like drunks or whatever. That's the only one I can remember. I'll tell you what, you know what I'm saying? We're over there with a bottle of water. We're like, hey.
Taking it really seriously. Like, you're not meant to use that magic spell on that villain.
What are you doing? Yeah, so we used to do the little plays as well. And we used to have a show every single month. And we used to charge money for people to come in and all the parents and stuff. But what I used to do is, because, you know, it's top of the garage, so you can, you know, it's empty. There's no walls or nothing.
Yeah.
The other kids who like a little bit more grown up. They were like, we're too cool for this. They used to peek in and watch for free, like from the road. So what we used to do is we used to put like little like curtains and like sheets and stuff. Be like, you're not peeking in.
You can't afford this school.
Man. You cannot afford this school or this play. Are you kidding me? Come on, dude. Yeah.
I really want to know what that game was now.
It's mad.
Oh, it's boss. It's boss. Yeah.
I'd have to do a little Heroes 3 game on Patreon or something.
It's awesome. You can play. I haven't played in a while, but yeah, it's amazing.
The girl you with now, is it Justina?
Justina, yeah.
Justina. You said you had a little story about the first date with her.
Yeah. I do a bit on stage as well. So we met on Tinder. And because I've been on so many Tinder dates that I just kind of like, I don't get a second date, you know? I just gave up. And I was like, whatever, nothing's going to come out of this. So we're just talking and stuff. It was during the pandemic. We broke the COVID rules. Sorry, Boris Johnson. What are you going to do about it?
Fuck him.
What are you going to do about it? Come and find me, Merseyside guy. What's up? So we're talking and we had a little virtual date first, you know? And then it was like, okay, let's meet. And all the bars were closed. So we're supposed to go to the park for a walk, right? Yeah. And I met her on Smithdown, and there is a doe hospital on Smithdown. And in front of the door, there's like this little, I don't know how's it called. Like
Did you say a dog hospital?
No, doe.
Oh, I think
like
you said a dog hospital.
Doe hospital. Yeah, it's like little
vets, I think.
So, and she warned me that she's 6 feet tall, you know, like just prepare yourself. Yeah. And I'm there sitting because it was raining, and
She's 6 foot tall.
She's 6 feet tall, yeah.
No way.
I told you've been to my gigs when I remember the Jacaranda, I did that.
Yeah.
No, I don't listen.
Nobody believes me. You know when I say people come like, there's no way. And I was like, yeah, she is. Yeah.
Nice.
And I was just right in front of the dollhouse, and I literally looked like a little mascot or something with my little jacket and stuff. Yeah. She comes over and is just pissing down. And at that point, I literally was like, I know I'm not gonna get a second date. I'm gonna be cheeky. And I was like, there's no way we're going to the park. I'll take you somewhere special. And she was like, where are you taking me? And I was like, don't worry, I'll surprise you. And she's like giggling and stuff, right? And we go in, and there at the end of Smithdown, there's a massive Asda on 2 floors, 24 hours. And I took her to Asda. First date, we spent there 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I bought her a bottle of water as well.
I remember this bit.
Yeah, so she didn't leave empty-handed. And she did enjoy it and stuff, you know, like we went there and then we had a second date and all that stuff. And somehow I, you know, managed to fool her, you know.
Fool her.
People do make fun of us though, like little scullies and stuff when we walk past, and they're like, one guy was like, telling to the other one but super loud, lad, can you imagine if your girlfriend was taller than you? They're like a little pause. Much taller than you. And I was like, and she got
like he double checked. Like, imagine if she's taller than you. Much taller than you.
And I was like, she got upset, but I was like, that's fucking good timing, that, you know. Like, as a comedian, I was like, that's fucking
good pause, lads. Good pause.
Yeah, much taller. And I was like, yeah, they make fun of us, but what can you do? No, that is what it is.
First date in Asda, but tell you what, that's how you know she's a good one. Do you know what I mean? If you wanted to date in Asda with her and she's had a good time. Nice girl.
She tried to sold me off to some women who are looking for toasters. Because, like, there was women, I'm crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I just don't care, you know what I mean? I don't care. Here you go, little Tom Keegan, I don't care. So, I just don't. I just want to have fun, you know what I mean? They're going to deport me any day now, so who gives a fuck, you know? Nigel Farage, come out to me, bro.
Well, if you do get deported, at least you're fucking right on the ground floor at Menergy, you know what I
mean? Slinging that manager. So some women, a mother and a daughter looking for toasters, and I just walked past, and they're like, I was like, hello, ladies. What's the problem? You need with that accent. You need some help. I'll give you great price. Great price, no problem, no problem. If you're just like, you wanna take him off my hands or something like that? They're like, what the fuck's happening? I'm just laughing and stuff. Like, who gives a fuck? You know, just have fun.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about, isn't it? Just having fun.
And I was like, you can have everything you want. £5 budget though. You know what I'm saying? Don't get to you know. Don't come on.
Get some Percy pigs on the till. You're like, you cheeky bastards.
Yeah, man. Just having fun. Is there another one? I think there was one more. I think
there is. There's a couple more, mate. I wanted. You worked on a farm when you first got over here, didn't you?
Is there another one for Bulgaria? Because they're in chronological order, you know.
I know. I've been. To be fair, some have stood out that are too good, and I've just had to ask you about. We got Villa. One just says Villa.
Oh yeah.
There we go. There we go.
So you said that you were into tarot cards and spirituality and how is that called now? Astronomy, astrology, which astrology. I always mix them up, you know. We had I'm not really superstitious, but I kind of create my own superstitions. For instance, if I don't wear this jacket to stage tonight, I'll have a bad gig. That type of stuff, you know. I'm that self-centered, you know what I mean? Like I create my own superstitions.
Yeah. It's probably because you're Romanian.
Nice, I like it. I'm Bulgarian. Next time I'll come with the merch, okay? Little flag.
Yeah.
So we used to have in our old block of flats, we used to have on the first floor a friend of my grandma. She, Vilichka, right? And by the way, Vila is a fork. Vilichka is a small dessert fork.
Right.
So if you translate, it's kind of like fork. Her name was Little Fork.
Her name was Little Fork, right? Okay.
So she used to be it's a long bio. So she talks to the dead. She reads tarot cards. She reads coffee stains. She reads beans, like white. Have you heard about that? Yeah, white beans. She does telekinesis, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, and she gets like the visions. She can predict the future as well, right? All legit stuff, obviously. I mean, come on. Maybe that's the wrong podcast to say stuff like that, Mike. Yanek. Okay, I need to be here now. I want to be back. No, so... And from time to time, she goes upstairs to meet my grandma, and they have a coffee, right? And she pays her a few quid, and she reads the stuff. Now, tarot cards are very expensive in Bulgaria. So she used to read normal cards, plain cards, right?
Right, okay.
So she just makes up stuff with plain cards. She used to read the coffee. Have you heard about the coffee stain?
Yeah.
I've heard about tea.
Tarot cards was originally playing cards. That was the origins, yeah.
So that's probably why you can use just normal
but
playing
it's
cards.
all if it's all in your head, like precognition, that ability. That's what it would come under the umbrella of. Then you can do it with anything. So that's probably why she does it with.
Do they do the coffee stains in this country as well? Or is it not popular?
I haven't been for one, but you can probably get it somewhere.
Do you know about the coffee stain?
I know about like reading tea leaves and shit like that. So I imagine it's the same sort of thing.
What was that? People reading your bum?
Oh, psychic Sally.
Rumpology.
Rumpology, yeah.
You can read someone's bum apparently, but never mind.
Where do I sign up to read people's bums? I don't discriminate, but you have to have big butts. Okay, apologize.
Nice.
No guys, no comments. Let's go. No, so the coffee, I just want to explain if people don't know. So what you do is you drink your coffee, and at the bottom, it's not even. How's it called? It's kind of like
residue,
like the froth,
yeah.
like the coffee, yeah.
But when you completely drink it, and it literally sometimes is like it looks like a painting sometimes.
Yeah.
And depending on the painting, you can read it. And with the white beans as well, you throw them and they have, the big salad white beans raw. And they have the little black thingy on the side and the way they're positioned and stuff. So she used to do that. But my favorite part is when she used to talk to the dead. So my grandma, because, her parents, she's quite old, so her parents are dead. Instead of being like, oh, I want to talk to my parents and stuff, no, she wanted to talk to her favorite dead celebrities. So what she used to do is, now, I don't remember the celebrity, so we're going to use American dead celebrity. So she was like, you want to talk to Elvis? Okay, I'll talk to Elvis, the Bulgarian Elvis or whatever. She's just out there getting the vision. And she was like, oh yeah, Elvis. But she's polite. So she's like, Elvis, are you there? She waits for the signal and sometimes they're not there. So she said, okay, he's not there. Let's do another one. And she's like, oh, whatever, like Freddie Mercury or whatever. Like, oh, Freddie, he's there. And she starts getting the signal and my grandma, is like, oh, where is this going? She's like, Freddie, are you there? Give me a sign, Freddie. Okay. In the corridor. You're going to make a noise in the corridor if you're there? Okay. And who they send? Of course, they send me. So I'm in the corridor, bro, waiting for Freddie Mercury to knock on the door or something. I'm not joking. I'm just like, Freddie, come on, bro. I have shit to do. I want to chase Pokemon. So what are you doing? What I'm saying? So just
I'm gonna fucking shift in a minute.
Yeah, bro. So it's just like I'm out there. What I'm saying? Just looking for signals and stuff.
Did you ever see anything? Did you ever get any?
One time there was a noise but I think it was the granddad in the toilet or something. I literally heard like a noise and I was, oh my God. And my granddad was like flushing towards like, oh, okay.
I just love that, like, as a Freddie Mercury, you go out in the corridor, it's like, ew.
Mike had fucking look boss in like a yellow tank top as well, wouldn't he? Yeah. You should do that next Halloween, mate.
I should, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, so, I mean, she's a very nice woman. It just, it just comes over.
Yeah.
And I think I've been to a psychic a few times. My aunt, so...
Then it happened when you went to the psychic?
Uncle Lupo's wife, she's really into psychic. So Uncle Lupo's whole family, they're all characters, right? Yeah. She's my aunt. She's really into psychic, and she took me. She's big into astrology as well. So I'm a Virgo. She's a Virgo as well. So
Virgos,
really?
Bro.
Yes, lad. Do we have a symbol or something like Virgo symbol? Yes.
West side?
V side? Yeah, man. And she's really into that. So she took me a few times, to like a psychic and stuff. And but I was young. The thing is, I'll be honest with you, I don't really believe it.
That's fine.
But
most fellas don't.
But the moment it starts to say stuff I like to hear, I'm like, hold on,
Yeah.
let's give her a minute. you have a lot of prosperity. You're gonna find the love of your life next week. Everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're very creative and smart and funny. And I was like, oh, go on. You know what I mean? But the moment it's bad, I'm like, no, fuck this.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. This.
Bias.
Yeah.
Do you know Milo McCabe?
Yeah.
He went to a psychic, and the psychic described his wife to him. And then
before they'd met.
Before they'd met. And then years later, he found out that the same thing had happened to his wife. She'd gone to a psychic, and Milo had been described to her.
Yeah.
And then when years later they were together, and was like,
my mum swears by me mum. As says, I've heard things, lads, that he couldn't have possibly known. You know what I mean? You're a bit of an open book, Helen. I don't think. When I lived with Callum Oakley, who you've had on the podcast before, there was a girl who used to bartend a hot water, Olivia, and she used to do card readings. And he said, one day she's going to come round in the morning and read us our cards. Callum went first. I might have told you this. Every card Callum got was like rainbows, butterflies. it was like, one actually said he's going to meet a MILF. He got a MILF. I remember screaming, like, he gets MILFs and everything. I went next and it was like storm clouds.
One of the cards said MILF.
One of the cards basically said you're going to meet an older woman with a kid. Fucking, that backfired. Yeah. So as soon as I thought about it, I went, oh, shit, what have I said? Mine was just horrendous. Mine was like storm clouds, fucking, and I had like the worst 2 years of my life after that. Yeah.
To be fair though, like if that's your outlook, then it'll seep into.
Oh no,
everything.
it was. It was a.
And now though, rainbows.
It is. It is.
Yeah. There we go.
It's coming up Millhouse.
That's good.
Have you ever had any paranormal happenings, like ghosts or any shit like that?
No, I have a lot of vivid dreams and nightmares. Does that count? Like, man, I don't know it's a dream, so I think it's real. Some wild shit, but not
back
really.
in the mines. Get me out of here, dick, rock hard dick.
Flashbacks. No, I don't really believe, to be honest with you. I don't know. So the thing is, I'm an atheist, and my parents are atheists as well, which is very rare because Bulgaria, it used to be like a Christian country and stuff, you know. Now I don't think anybody nobody bothers, but so they didn't brought me up with the whole ghosts and afterlife and like.
Is it a lot of Muslims in Bulgaria?
No, it's a minority.
So it isn't like Russia and stuff, isn't it? Like
it's a minority now. I think it's around 8 to 10% and stuff.
Okay.
But I had all type of friends. I had Jews, black people, Muslims, everybody.
Vietnamese Jesus.
I was Korean Jesus as well. Oh, no, Korean. Vietnamese Jesus.
we got it wrong.
The way I said it, I'll tell you why. Have you seen the picture of Korean? Because Korea is the biggest Christian Asian nation on the planet.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I've got a Korean friend who's Christian. She goes to church at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like every day.
Have you seen a statue of Korean Jesus?
No.
He's just like that, ripped.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a picture of it. Didn't notice
Kim Jong-il.
Ripped.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, it's him. That's Jesus. He was also
Yeah.
Jesus. We got about 10 minutes left, so we still got a few stories.
Let's do it.
One just says bananas.
Bananas. Oh, that's okay. Let's go. Bananas are very expensive in Bulgaria.
Right.
Let's say equivalent $3.50 a kilo.
How much are they here?
Talk like it's heroin.
I don't know how much.
70 pence, 80 pence.
Oh, okay, sound.
Just imagine $3.50 a kilo.
Yeah.
Super expensive. I don't know what happened with the trade back in the day. Maybe some
Why
Bulgarian.
is it in weight?
Huh?
Why is it in weight?
So that's how you buy fruit and veg now.
Is
yeah?
it? Of course, yeah. That's
Someone
why you
doesn't
have to
eat fruit and
fucking.
veg.
Collins.
Tell me your spouse without
it
telling me your
come- yeah.
spouse. I don't eat fucking fruits, lad.
Does it
What
come
do you
in a
mean weight
cereal
fruits?
box?
Yeah, so it's very expensive. In 2000, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 11 before I left while still in Bulgaria, Kaufland, which is a German supermarket, opened its first store.
Right.
Massive, right? A lot of competition. So what they did, in order to get the people and get the publicity, they bought 4 tons of bananas and put them 60 pence, equivalent, right? 60 pence per kilo.
Yeah.
It was the biggest story in the country. Because it was like, what is it Christmas? What is this? You know, like, this is unbelievable. How do you mean 60 pence? My head's going to explode, right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, right? But you can only buy 2 kilos per person. You cannot just go and buy 20 kilos.
There are people selling them on the sly outside.
You got to ration them.
Yeah.
Can't be silly.
Yeah. So it was literally it felt like a disco on a Saturday night. Like that, jam packed when you go to that, store and stuff. Massive queues, right? And But they said, if we find, let's say us four are one family. If we go together and they find out we're family, 1 kilo per person. All right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Punishment?
Yeah. So what they used to do is they're literally on the queue, and let's say we're all family, right? You're going to be here. There's going to be, no, you're not straight. Few people between us. You go there. Pretend you don't know me. Pretend you don't know me. Few more people over there.
Bananas was bad,
My grandma waves at me. I don't know this woman. I don't know. She has dementia. I don't know who she is. I don't know her.
Bananas? Wow.
Crazy.
That's amazing, huh?
Now, we go in there with my mates just for having a laugh. We took a few, I don't know, whatever. Few months later, I come to the UK, right? Now, I've lived in Bulgaria for 21 years. First day, I walk into Lidl. I got a job in West London, and I got all British mates, colleagues and stuff. I walk inside. I have no idea, like, what the prices are here. And I see 62 pence, 65 pence a kilo. I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
What the fuck's happening here? Next day I go to work. I just sprint into the office. And I was like, hey, Mike, how you doing? You know, you're settling down. How is Britain, blah, blah? I was like, listen, forget everything. Stop this bullshit. What are we working here for? We need to go right now. Asda, Sainsbury, Lidl. I saw them in Lidl. I don't know other shops. Let's go. There's bananas in there. He was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you won't believe this. Bananas, 62 pence. He was like, mate, they've been 62 pence for fucking 15 years. What are you talking about? How many did you buy? And I was like, 9 kilos. I genuinely bought 9 kilograms of bananas because I thought
sending them all back over, not like
just fucking potassium for days.
Because I thought, and my first place in West London was literally probably this size here. That was my whole place. Half of it was covered in bananas. Do you know how many bananas is in 9 kilos? 1 kilo is like 5-6 normal bananas. You do the math. I'm like 50 something
That's
bananas.
So funny,
That's a fucking table full of bananas.
Half of them must have went off.
No, I ate all of them. Have you ever tried eating 2 bananas?
No wasting this. It's gold. Is that gold?
I was giving up bananas, then putting up my ass, fucking my mouth. Just whatever, bro. Under my armpit. Just let's go, bro. It's fucking horrible. It's so many bananas.
That's so funny. That new lad's buying all the bananas.
That is.
You don't know what you're missing out on here, lads.
That's absolutely true story.
That's insane.
I bought 9 kilos of bananas.
Mad.
Absolutely true story.
Right.
I was just going to say, which while we've got a little bit of time left, you were going to say thanks.
Yeah, we got a few things to do. We just want to say shout out to everyone who bought the merch. It's all sold out. There's a few sticker packs left. We will be doing a pre-sale for a new, like a restock. So keep an eye out for that because you can message us and prepay for something. So we've definitely got your size and that.
Yeah, but get on Patreon because if you want one.
Because they all went to the patrons first. And also live show tickets will be out very soon. And they're going to patrons first. So if you want to get one of them, because they're probably going to sell out on Patreon, get over on the Patreon. Yeah,
it's where the good stuff is. And also you get a members only club card because you've been a guest. And that entitles you to one favour.
But I'm scared that one of Mike's favours is going to be like do some drug running for us.
It's going to involve fucking erection jam or bananas or something.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Tom, have you got one of them? You need one?
I know, I was going to mention when you give one to Mike then, I was livid.
He's a proper member of the club though, isn't he?
Yeah, but you can have a card.
You can have one, that's all right. Yeah.
I want one, just to have one. 5 minutes, speed awareness, what have you been doing?
This morning, I had to do a speed awareness course.
Which
is for speeding, yeah. And then last night at Hot Water, Becky Herring gave me a good shout as well. She was saying about someone who'd done one and like nearly turned up late because you usually have to go to like a place to do it, but now they're online because of the pandemic. So someone was like nearly missed it and they were like, fucking hell, put my foot down as I get it. But I was because it was online, it was on Zoom with other people. There was one bit where you had to like guess like what speed you should be going on certain roads without knowing the things. And the fucking road by my dad's popped up and I was like 30 mile an hour. And they were like, how do you know that? And I went, it's by my dad's. And everyone's like, what do you want to
change the test?
yeah. And then another one, it was like, what are some things that could be happening that make you speed up? And I was like, having other people in the car, like sort of might distract you or whatever. They're like, yeah, what's something you might say to like get you to speed up? And I was like, you're driving like me nan. and they were like, she was like, not exactly that, but yeah. And then another thing was like, being stressed and stuff can cause you to speed and blah, blah, blah. And what are some ways that you could maybe like unwind it? And I was like, a few pints maybe. Didn't like it, didn't fancy it.
You can take the boy out of stand up.
Yeah, I was always on. I was like reading the room and all that. It was mad, man, yeah. It was was a waste of time, but
no, he's learnt some things.
Learned some things, yeah.
Well, you had no choice. You had to do it.
Yeah.
Bloody take your license off you.
Yeah.
Dead quick before you go, Amy. You wanted to say about the tattoo tales when people send in some.
Oh yeah.
clips.
So if there's any tattoo artists watching, we're going to start doing a feature. We're going to message some of our tattoo artist friends and get them to send in videos of like tales from
the shops,
studios, because some shit goes down and they might not want to come on and talk because.
Yeah, there must be such good stories. I mean, I bet you've probably got half that you've either blocked out or have just happened years ago.
Because like when they happen, you don't really think of them. Like that's why I haven't really done stand up about tattooing, because when you're in it, you don't really see like the funny. You have to take a step back away from it to like see the funny sides of it. But I know Adam, who I work with, he's told me some stories, like, and so they'll be fun to have on.
Yeah, so send us in some little videos about tattoo tales.
I want to know what, like, we might have set a record on this episode for the most stories hit. Yeah, it was a very rapid fire episode. We kept up with Mike's energy. We've only got a little limited amount of time to record as well, because Mercury retrograde is all that shite. So it's a bit.
He says shite on it, but at home he's like, yeah, I agree.
no, because the camera. We were recording a Patreon yesterday, and the camera kept cutting off. And after about 4 times, Amy was like, "Oh, it's Mercury retrograde," and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense now. Whatever."
See, he agrees with it on the slide.
I mean, stuff happens every now and then where you go, "Oh yeah, it just must be."
Energies are real, guys.
Energies are real. I think that might be everything.
We're done. Right, we need to shoot off, don't we? Thank you so much.
2 gigs, so like, I've got to fucking get going. Like, so.
Someone gigs.
Thanks.
Do yeah, mate, yeah.
Cheers, thank you.
Can I plug my stuff before?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, me and Tom have both been on Mike's podcast. What's it called?
The Mike Yanek Show.
The Mike Yanek Show. My episode's just come out on it.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Go follow Mike on his social media.
Being released.
No. One of them will be released.
I'll release them both. It'll be fine. Tom's also been on, so go check his one out when it's out as well. So what's your social medias?
At Mike Yanek, everywhere.
Mike Yanek.
Yeah.
Tom Keegan with the boobs.
Tom Keegan. And
to be at the top
TK
anyway.
Comedy. As
we
much
got a
as
YouTube.
It kills me to say.
Yeah, Mike Yanek.
Well, we'll put that in the post as well.
Thank you so much for
TK Comedy.
TK Comedy on Instagram. Right. Bloody hell.
Hot Water Monday nights come down. Last Thursday of every month, phase 1 come down. Tickets for live show will be going on soon, but they'll probably be sold out on Patreon, so go on Patreon. And then, just keep an eye out for stuff. It's happening. But nice one, everyone listening.
Cheers,
Love you. Cheers, Mike. Cheers, Tom.
Bye,
nice one.
bye,
See you in a
bye.
bit.
Thank you.